If I ask you what is the biggest fear of a narcissist, you may answer, oh, it's the loss of control or their supply or bad kind of exposure. You're right, because that's what you know. That's what most people talk about. But what if I told you that's not the end of the story? There are fears, rather smaller stresses that a narcissist conceals very well but struggles with them on a daily basis. These fears are far more dangerous because they burn them every single moment of every day. How do I know? Well, I have observed my narcissistic parents, my narcissistic family, and I have watched them deal with these fears. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. The topic for today is 5 fears that make a narcissist pee their pants. I know that sounds funny, but you will know why I chose that title. Number 1, fear of memory loss. Narcissists rely heavily on their memory because they're a predator. They have to know the territory inside out. They have to focus on the micro details and use them to come up with an alternate version of the reality. Why? Because their goal is to convince you you are wrong in perceiving the things the way they are. They have to know the truth to lie perfectly. And that is all possible if you have a sharp memory. They use their memory as a storage unit to pull things from. Let's say you're trying to sleep and their intention is to deprive you of it. What will they do? They'll start an argument with what? With something that happened 10 years ago. Oh, you said it this way, and this is the word that you used, and that is what hurt me a lot, and I can't tell you, and you know how it goes. So it is a selective memory. They remember everything, but they pick and choose the details depending on what serves their narrative. When a narcissist loses this memory or the access to those details, you can imagine the terror within. And how do I know about this terror? I witnessed my father experiencing it. Initially, he would boast about his memory. Oh, you can't fool me. I remember everything. You can't escape me. Then later on, as he started aging, he would randomly say something like, I think my memory is weakening, with a nervous laughter to cover it up, to conceal the fear. Oh, I don't know. And then he started taking supplements and so on. But he was really afraid of memory loss because they do not want to lose control over something that's beyond their control. Exposure, saving their image, is in their hands. If not 100%, to a great degree, they can prevent it. But dementia, Alzheimer's, other issues related to memory, they can't help it. Number 2, fear of you developing a strong relationship with your children. When you start a family with a narcissist, your focus is on the entire unit. You want to raise kids with them. But that is not applicable to a narcissist because their beliefs are different. They believe that they are creating minions, extensions who will serve them in future. Long term, it's about getting supply. For you, it's about raising healthy individuals. For them, it's about raising slaves. That sounds crazy, but it is true. And they know you can become the obstacle. To remove you, what do? They trigger alienation. How? By manipulating them against you, by telling them lies. And it's not just about telling them lies. They shape the environment in such a way that their narrative, the label, is proven correct. For example, they label you as a violator, as an abuser, as the perpetrator. Then they become the victim. And eventually they push your buttons to get a reaction out of you. Very simple game for them. You react, which reinforces the understanding of the children. Oh, our mommy or daddy is the abusive one in the situation. They're the family breaker, so on and so forth. What does that do? That understanding, wrong understanding of theirs, serves the narcissist's ultimate agenda. The agenda is, I need to have all of them for myself. They have to take my side. The child unconsciously and unintentionally becomes an enabler, a minion. somebody who also performs the role of a flying monkey. Sometimes they become mini narcissists. You can't change them. That is the truth. I know all this because my mother groomed me since a very young age to see my father as our biggest enemy. While he was abusive and extremely cold, but she exaggerated everything by crying, by pretending to be a big victim of her circumstances and blaming everything on him. He was responsible for a lot of things, but not everything. Every single day she would gaslight me, say the same things on repeat. I saw him through her eyes, and eventually there was no scope of having a relationship with him. Why? Because she had destroyed it. And the reason was to have all the support for herself, all the minions serving her ego. The only difference between me and a true minion is I chose to see her true colors and I disconnected from both of them. Number 3, fear of loss of sexual appeal. This is super important and highly applicable to a sexual or a somatic narcissist, a type of a narcissist that focuses on their body. They put in a lot of efforts in maintaining it. Let's say they go on a special diet, they work out. Now, working out in general is not wrong, but they are obsessed with it. But you age, no matter how many plastic surgeries you go through, no matter how many procedures you do, you still are a human being. You're bound to get old. You are bound to look different as the years increase. And that is what a narcissist cannot accept. They fear it so much so that they start associating themselves with young people to delusionally believe that they are as young as the person they are extracting supply from. For example, old narcissistic men go after young women. Why? Because that makes them feel young. They start dressing differently. They start talking differently. It feels like they're from a different generation. And the reason is loss of sexual appeal. They worry a lot about their erections and they go through so many procedures to get it right. But with age, you're supposed to lose it. No, I will not accept it. I will delusionally believe I am an 18-year-old boy and I am supposed to have that kind of libido or that kind of excitement. That never happens, which is also a reason why they collapse. A sexual female narcissist, on the other hand, dresses differently. I wanted to say inappropriately, but dressing is a choice. In this context, she dresses to get attention. She dresses to get as many eyeballs looking at her as possible. She hides her age. She rages at anybody who tells her you are 50 because she wants to hear she is 25. That is her biggest delusion, but at the same time, the biggest fear. Number 4, being seen through. This is different from being exposed. You can expose a narcissist by telling others who you have been dealing with. But seeing through a narcissist means seeing through their mask. They're masters of the art of deception. They know how to manipulate. They know how to project an illusion. That's why they're so good at doing it, because it's driven by a big fear. The fear is, I must not be seen for the person I am. But when they encounter an awakened empath, somebody who has healed and has dealt with a lot of narcissists, they start to shake and shiver. Why? Because they know the person they're interacting with is going to see through that fake charm, is going to detect the lies, the indiscrepancies, is going to feel the incongruence between who they pretend to be and who they actually are. And that is what they cannot stand. You might have seen in such situations, narcissists turn into scared mice. They run away. They do not want to maintain eye contact. They do not want to be around that person. They hate them. They run massive smear campaigns very quickly. They want to isolate them. They indirectly attack them because they do not have the strength to stand that direct confrontation. They know the other person sees through everything they have created to fool others. They know the other person knows the narcissist is nothing but an insecure person. They are afraid of being authentically seen as they are. To them, it is akin to being naked and having nowhere to go, being stuck in a room with no window or door out. That is how anxious they feel. Have you experienced something like this? Are you that person that really makes them shake in their boots? If yes, let me know in the comments and share your experiences as well. Number 5 and the last one, fear of indifference, which is also different from fear of being ignored. You can ignore a narcissist and that is going to trigger them. That's different because they know you are gray rocking, you are withholding emotion. That's different because deep down you may still feel something yet not express it. But when you truly feel indifferent towards a narcissist, it's like they are dead to you. And that is what they cannot stand. These predators have the intuition to know when you are faking it, when you are gray rocking, and when you are actually indifferent. When you become indifferent, it's like they die. Their existence withers away because they only exist if you acknowledge them. They do not have a true personality. They exist in people's mind as programs, as manipulation, everything they do. They are nothing without it. When you are like, oh, I'm looking at you, and to me, you are nothing but a dead person, that's when the game is over for them. The shock that sets in makes them say crazy and horrible things like, oh, so-and-so is an alcoholic. So-and-so is on drugs. I don't know what's happened to them. I don't know why they have changed. I don't know you were a different person. They feel discarded. They reverse the entire thing and say, I have been now discarded. I don't know. I love them so much and they've moved on and they don't care. They can even fake emergencies and do all that drama. But ultimately, they're left alone with the bitter reality that you are dead for that person and they don't give a damn about you. That is their biggest fear. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. I hope you found it different and insightful. If you did, let me know in the comments and I will talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.